Hey, how are you doing? Um, it's been a while since I've been on, for sure. Actually wanted to continue a bit with my last topic, which was on LifeRegenerator, and I had to put my real life ahead of time. Ahead of my life on here. My personality, my archetype is definitely a part of me, but is not all of me for sure. That's something that took a long time in realizing, because I'm kind of a focused person, have been all my life, and just in this kind of new age of developing myself, which I consider a um, a part of becoming well-rounded, of just realizing that the health, the what you eat, all that stuff is not that's not all of health. You have to be healthy in the other ways, and working on your goals and working how we interact with other people and stuff like that is all contributing, because it affects us. 7 billion of us here. There's no way, even if you're as reclusive as me, that you could possibly say that people don't affect you. Um, anyway, so I've been working on my studio. Uh, that's a whole nother story by itself, and I'll probably, as soon as everything gets kind of set up, I'll probably start blogging in there all the time. Probably have a little bit of my music going in the background. Um, Maybe even start doing it that way all the time. Anyway, so I got to talk about this, the rest of what I wanted to say, because I have to reply to the kind of the thread that I started. And hell, these people that follow Dan the Man Regenerator, Life Regenerator. By the way, I'm getting picky, but that whole, I'm very into this whole gender idea. I think that a lot of the men that are health advocate teachers, I think, have a very female energy, and there's undeniably a female energy in Dan the Man. So, mm, for your energy, I don't really like. You have this weird combination of stuff, dude, that's actually pretty attractive to me, of hybridizing some energies. I definitely don't criticize you on that level, or any of that. In fact, there's this one video, this interview that he does for winning the Best of Raw awards, which I think is the biggest pile of shit that there ever was, in terms of representing here and now what the raw food world is all about. My criticism of Dan, and my criticism of how looking at the nominees for that Best of Raw thing, is, get your fucking heads out of 30 years ago. My fucking God, it just makes me sick. Bunch of David Wolf hating, Truth Calkins ignoring, electroceutical ignorant, self-serving, probiotic. Hello, what is that? Consciousness. It's just a joke to me, because I looked, maybe I'll vote on there, and it's like every nominee that was on there was like, you people didn't hit one significant person in there in the last, it's like everybody that's on there is the whole 30 years ago fucking mindset. And it's like, I'm definitely here to represent the modern end of this. It's like we're living in 2012. It's like, let's get in our spaceship and go, man. It's like the way that we're all talking is on computer. It's like, you people like should hybridize your whole everything, and let one way that you learn serve another way that you learn. It's like, here's my food. I'm into this whole Garden of Eden fucking trip. It's like, wow. So I could talk endlessly. I haven't been on for a while. So there's all this beautiful positive energy that I love about Dan the Man. And so that was interpreted in that whole Go Raw interview that I think the cool vegetarian guy did too, who's also somebody I know who has a really high positive energy, but I'm just like, his whole thing is like 30 years ago as well. It's like, just going with that whole food thing and the fruit, and not really taking into account the probiotic and the dangers of sugar and all that kind of stuff. It's it's going to get you a really rich life. I don't disagree with that. That's like the way to go if you just like want to be in the world. But I want more, and I want to be like the archetype. My two favorite archetypes in a tarot card deck are the Magician, which is kind of like a Jedi kind of guy, probably in modern of how we see amazing, well-rounded people. And I like the Chariot also. And Chariot's like this represents this fast-moving kind of warrior guy, or at least that's the way it's supposed to look. And so that's the combination of those two as my sort of heroic archetype goes way back. So I want to see, in saying that, I want to see everybody live in the times, hybridize everything. This is like freaking amazing, glorious. I am like a modern primitive, like all my tattoos and all that kind of stuff. That represents a sort of culture that I was very much a part of in the 90s, the whole modern primitive movement, which sort of brought tattooing and piercing into what it is now. Of course, I'm from that old school, and I had lots of crazy stuff that I've done, and I'm quite proud of that. Whole movement actually really helped me identify myself and find my real truth, because I was extremely shy before getting into body modification and the whole modern primitive movement, which was really all about getting into like ancient primitive rituals of marking the body, and definitely getting away from what the whole Christian mentality was on identifying yourself physically and making your mark. And that was just an explosion of consciousness for me. And so I heavily believe in that. It runs in everything I do, my music and my consciousness and everything else. And I think that's the important thing in being where we are, is hybridizing what we consider old or ancient knowledge. And as far as that goes, even ancient legends and, you know, this whole science thing. I'm only into using science to sort of check in and make sure that your feelings are right. Going head into it with science, I think, is kind of stupid. I think it's just better to use science for a reference. That's just my way of thinking. And so that's where I'm coming from, as being a modern primitive. So anyways, so what I want to say is I'm all about Dan the Man. There's one video I'm going to link in the D-box that's where I'm saying, yeah, I love that energy, but here comes the criticism stuff. Okay, in reply to my video that I posted about that he's full of shit with his consultation that he gave to somebody that had some pretty scary Candida and possibly cancer, because Candida definitely accompanies cancer, and definitely accompanies almost any sort of perversion of the body, which is what cancer is. Same with HIV in my case. HIV in itself could be kind of considered it's definitely a form of Candida, although it's like not fitting the classic distinction. It's a systemic infection. And Candida doesn't necessarily, in its beginning stages, it could just be in the intestinal tract and not be systemic. So his response, I thought he gave complete crap advice, and then his response to me was not too quickly after, was that his client had contacted him, and based on his advice, was feeling better right away already. It's just like, I got a link in the direct box. The next one is a link to Truth talking about Candida and how it works. And Truth, along with Donna Gates, or Donna Gates is number one, that's Truth's guru in the whole Candida world, talks about why you feel okay. And Dan, you haven't read everything. You really haven't read everything, because you don't know fucking shit about Candida. And if you're going to recommend sugar and they feel alright, you don't fucking get it. Thumbs down. Five thumbs down, dude, for that one. I didn't really want to do this, you know, being a policeman, but you're so popular. I want you to use that lovely personality, that heroic personality you have, and it's like, let's update this fucking information. Juice doesn't solve everything, And on that note of juice solving everything, your absolute worst fucking consultation that I saw, and it's not like I'm policing you, but it's just like in seeing your, I'm subscribed to you, and I can't really honestly get through one of your episodes. I used to kind of start on them all, and they're just too, not my thing. Not that I'm saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm a bit of a, understand what I straddle. You know, I'm a very positive person, but I'm also somebody who's hardcore into New Age and magic and the occult and Aleister Crowley. That's my thing. I'm wearing a Led Zeppelin shirt here just because there's a hermit right there. That's me, or the hermit. You know, that's the sort of acknowledgement of darkness is a big part of me. And so the whole positive thing is something I feel much more on a deep, not such a sort of, we used to call New Agers, the people that are like me, even though I'm totally a New Ager, we used to call them pastel pagans. So I guess that world I'm talking about, which you're kind of going into, I love seeing you drift away from the fundamentalist Christian point of view, but we used to call that pastel pagan, which is kind of old school. I've been around this thinking for a long time. But I definitely am running out of time, and I got to criticize you on the advice you gave on the woman with pain, with just, again, drinking juice. Juice is not the answer to everything. It's essentially a basic cancer remedy, you know, and that's more of a self-generated cancer. I'm not so sure juice would work well on a kind of cancer that you got from industrial toxins. I think you'd have to bring in some more heavier guns for that, which is kind of like where I'm at with stuff. But the juice consultation that you gave for a remedy for the woman that had pain, some kind of spinal, something from surgery, or it doesn't matter where it's from, but pain in general, juice ain't doing shit. That's fucking crazy. Let me tell you, I've been there. And if anything, like really, no recommending MSM, no recommending turmeric on the very basic level. That's where you just need to pull your head out of your ass, bro. And this is a place where all you David Wolf resisting, fucking David Wolf haters, that whole consciousness of everybody that's on the front end of you thinking it's just where you're fucking stupid. It's like, I want to be a nice person, but it's just like some of you people with blinders on is just, ugh. It's like, hate me, whatever, I'll just block you, I don't care, but I'm definitely going to be a voice for, it's like, get your head out of 30 years ago. The electroceuticals, great for pain. The magnetic bed, magneticosleep.com. Sleeping, that's great. And getting on the whole grounding sheet and all that stuff, that's all really well known for conquering pain. And it's just like, juice ain't doing shit. And your whole low fat mentality, fat is definitely another thing you really want to start taking in with pain. Especially the omega-3s, and possibly getting into like not being vegan at all for sure. That's firstly how I destroyed pain that I had, was having this awareness of fats, because I was left with some severe nasty peripheral neuropathy which hurt me bad, and I was not ready to retire from work yet, and I didn't want to, and I worked in pain for a while until I started unlocking the secret with the fat. And all you people that are no fat are fucking cuckoo. I'm speaking from experience. This isn't me reading out of a book or anything. I'm 48 years old. You know, it's like I kind of want to look young. I'm sort of starting this new look. I'm going to grow my soul patch here because it's gray, and it's like, I love how old I am. I love the way I look and all that kind of stuff. So, but the whole fat thing, just that digression is just about, the only thing about me is just that I'm documenting my experiences with being a health food freak all my life, you know, and the fat thing is definitely something that you need to pay attention to. The omega-3s, major intake of omega-3 for beginning to kill pain, and that's where I found my early progression. So anyways, I'm going to continue on this subject for a little while because I got a lot of positive mail of people said, please do continue with this, and I was not really liking it. So anyways, this is Keith out. Bye.